Hi, my name is Megan Hickey, and this is my fourth book critique. For my featured book, I decided to choose Indians of the Plains. The author is Ray Baines, the illustrator is Robert Baxter, the genre is informational, multicultural, and picture. The reading level is fourth grade and up, and the summary of this book is that it's a super cool book all about the Indians of the Plains, and it is all about the different tribes and what each tribe did. It explained what they wore, how they got food, and what they like to do, like ride horses. And for the content area, my first section would be for vocab, and it would be fourth grade. And there are some words that the fourth graders may not know, so they will receive a blank worksheet where they can fill in the words, and their job will be to write down the definitions of the words so that as they are reading, they know what the words mean. And then for my second content area, I did a lesson plan for history for the fourth grade. And this is about how there are several tribes listed in the book, so each student gets to choose which tribe they would like to talk about, and they will put together a single slide presentation, and then they will present it to the class. And I made an example here about the Plains Indians, and I did the tribe of the Pawnee. And I just did basically where they lived, ways of getting around, and stuff like their hair and how they looked. For my book number 2, I decided to choose Martin Day Porres, The Rose in the Desert. The author is Gary D. Schmidt. The illustrator is David Diaz. The genre is biography, picture, informational, and multicultural. The reading level is third grade and up. And the summary is that this is about the life of Martin Day Porres, and it's an incredible and inspiring book about how he inspired many people, and I highly suggest reading this book. For the third book, I chose Children's Stations of the Cross, and the authors and illustrators of this book are Susan Andrews Brindle, Joanne Andrews Bell, and Miriam Andrews Lademan. The genre is informational, picture, and realistic fiction. The reading level is third grade and up, and this is a story that it first starts with a grandpa and his 2 nephews and how they are in a church and they want to go around and look at the Stations of the Cross, but the grandpa's knees were difficult to kneel on to do the Stations of the Cross, but then he really teaches the nephews a lesson about how, even though it may be difficult to kneel on his knees, Jesus went through so much more. So it really describes each station one by one for children with beautiful pictures in it. And then the fourth book is a Native American thought of it, and the authors are Rocky Landon and David MacDonald. The genre is informational and history. The reading level is fourth grade and up. And the summary is that this is an amazing book about the beginning and growth of the Native Americans. And this book talks about the inventions and innovations back then. And it is very fascinating to, really read about the Native Americans and how they went through their life. Book number 5 is Giggle Giggle Quack. The author is Doreen Cronin. The illustrator is Betsy Lewin. The genre is modern fantasy and picture. The reading level is second grade and up. And the summary is that this is about how Farmer Brown left his brother Bob in charge of the farm while he went on vacation, and Farmer Brown left a note on what to do for each day, and he told Bob to keep a close eye on the duck because the duck was trouble. And everything was good until Duck brought all of the animals into the house and called the farmer. The farmer rushed back from vacation to stop the duck, and this book was very, very funny, and I really enjoyed reading it with a lot of great pictures. And the book number 6 is The War That Saved My Life, and the author is Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. The genre is realistic fiction and informational. The reading level is fourth grade and up, and the award that it has is the Newbery Honor. The summary of this book is that it was set during World War I, and it is about Ada, who lived in a small apartment with her brother and her mother, but her mother was embarrassed of her twisted foot. And Ada wanted to get away from her mother because her mother was very mean to her and her brother. And this is basically an adventure of the escape of her and her brother. And they learn all different types of things and run into a very nice lady named Susan who takes care of them. And it is a really interesting book to read, and I highly suggest reading this. The seventh book that I have is You Will Be My Friend. The author is Peter Brown. The genre is modern fantasy, picture, and traditional literature. The reading level is second grade and up. And the summary of this is that it's a cute story about a young bear named Lucille, and she wanted to make a new friend, and she figured it, would be easy because of the amount of critters in the forest. But unfortunately, Lucille didn't find a friend as she planned because as she was trying to make friends, everything went wrong all the time. So she was about to give up, and a flamingo came up out of nowhere and asked her if she wanted to be friends. And they played and played, and they were great friends. And then my eighth book is Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, and the author is Grace Lynn. The genre is modern fantasy and fairy tale. The reading level is fourth grade and up, and the awards are Newbery Honor, New York Times bestseller list, and Parents' Choice Gold winner. The summary is that this is about a girl named Minley who lives in a fruitless mountain, and her father would tell her stories at night about the man on the moon who knew about everyone's future and what they needed to do to help their future. And inspired by these stories, Minley wanted to go and find the man on the moon. And on her quest, she meets magical creatures and she meets a dragon that goes on the rest of the quest with her. It was very interesting and I really suggest reading it. Thank you so much.